So this is another kind of personal vlog today. Firstly, let's get out of the way. Apologies for the barnet. I just got caught in a storm, and because I was looking after someone's dog, I had to stay out in it. So I do look slightly bedraggled, but I couldn't be bothered to do it, so forgive me. Right, onto the proper stuff now. So today's vlog is going to be about shyness and sort of social awkwardness. I know this is something that a lot of us deal with. You can just tell from the amount of tweets about people saying they embarrass themselves or feel nervous about something, etc. So I thought this was a good topic to go with. Apparently, according to my parents, I wasn't shy when I was a little kid. At the family gatherings, I'd be quite vocal and chat to all the elder people. When I used to visit my doctor when I was 4, I'd run in and say, "Look at my new patent cherry red shoes," and show them off and stuff. So I don't know when the shyness crept in, but I presume it was probably when I was at school, probably puberty time, you know, when you're a bit unsure about everything and desperate to fit in and just unsure about, you know, your looks. You're just not comfortable in your skin, so therefore I don't know, I just think you're not as relaxed about being yourself at that age. I was in orchestras and bands and group choirs and all that sort of stuff, but I didn't ever have the guts to do solos, or when I was forced to, I'd just find them terrifying because I was so shy. I'd get, you know, flushed cheeks, I'd sweat all over and I'd shake like that, so which isn't easy when you play the flute if you're going like that. So that's a shame. So I didn't get to do as many things as I probably would have enjoyed to do because my shyness got in the way of that. You're probably thinking, if you're shy, why are you doing on-camera interviews with bands and things like that for your job? That was never the plan. I studied art and thought that's quite a solitary career path, perhaps something I can do on my own at home, but after getting my degree I realised it's quite hard to have a career with art, so went down different routes and I just ended up doing this. It was never the goal, and I still think, what am I doing? Yeah, it's absolutely bizarre that I ended up doing this. I think I would have laughed if someone said when I was younger that I would choose to do this, because it's so out of my comfort zone, it's unbelievable. I don't know. The important point I want to make is that some of your favourite actors and musicians and celebrities have either battled with shyness, like Jim Carrey was a really painfully shy child and comedy took him out of his shell. Kurt Cobain, Bob Dylan, George Harrison, all these people were shy people, but they got great success. So it doesn't have to be something that stops you from progressing. It can add charm to what you do, or element to your personality that isn't altogether negative. And you'll find some things bring you out of that shyness, like some of your passions or something you're really good at, or even a person you meet might make you break through that barrier. I think a good representation is obviously Beyonce. She has her alter ego, which she looks at to kind of be able to put herself out there more. That's Sasha Fierce, isn't it? But when she's not on stage, she's a very much more quiet, private person, and she kind of has to embody this new, more grand, more ferocious, more confident being when she's on stage. So I think that's something we can all take to our lives. Obviously not to a Beyonce extent, you don't want to start like doing that down the street or anything, but you can just use it if you're feeling slightly nervous about a presentation, or meeting someone that slightly intimidates you, or anything related to socialising and work. If you can come up with a good alter ego name for me, that'd be great, because I haven't really come up with one. I think something like Sasha Fierce is a bit too much for me, but you know, any ideas, put them below, that'd be fun. When I go to do an interview, inside there's the churning of the stomach, the sweating seems to be a constant theme for me, and when I have to wait, when it's delayed, the nerves build up even more, and I'm not nervous to meet a band because they're famous or celebrities or important or anything like that. It would literally be the same with anyone new that I'm meeting. It's just the whole will they like me thing. Will I say something embarrassing? Probably yes. Do I have something on my face? Am I going to spit on them when I talk? Have I got toilet roll stuck to my shoe? But I think the main thing is, will they think I'm good at my job? Will they warm to me? Will it go well? And then will they be able to tell that I'm quite shy? A lot of people say they don't think that I am shy, but I think that's because I do the fake it till you make it thing. I try and look confident, so I'll walk in smiling and go and shake their hands and try and have a joke with them and seem relaxed, even though inside I'm like, oh. And you've got to remember, perhaps some of the bands I'm talking to might be not that confident talking about what they do or themselves, and they might be nervous as well. We're all humans, and we've all got these, qualities that we can't necessarily control, but maybe we can tame a bit or cover up or mask. One of the worst things for me is if say I'm on my own and I'm walking down the street, and then in the distance I see someone I know. I have that panic. Okay, am I gonna say hello? Am I gonna give them a kiss on the cheek? Am I gonna give them a hug? Am I gonna stop for a conversation? Ugh. It's that panic. What is the correct thing to do? Are they good enough friends with me that you do the greeting, or would just a quick hiya be more appropriate? And then I turn this into a massive thing and it stresses me out. So more often than not, if I see someone in the distance, I will either do the fake I'm on the phone thing so I can just go, hi, you alright? Or I will change direction. I've literally gone the opposite way from where I need to be going just to avoid that scenario and that confusing what's the right thing to do thing, which is absolutely ridiculous behaviour. But I just find that really stressful. I wish someone would come up with a rule for all that you just do, whether it's just you high five absolutely everyone or just smile politely. I can't stand the whole thinking I'm going to get it wrong. I've just done so many awkward greetings, where you go in for the hug and they've gone in for something else and then you squash them or you squash yourself. I've kissed some PRs on the lips. I kissed my mate's granddad on the lips by accident once. Putting your hand out and hitting their crotch, it's endless. So if someone, maybe an MP, I know you've got a lot on your hands, but if you can come up with a universal thing, that would be great. Also, another thing that's added to this is if I decide I'm going to ignore you, which I sometimes do just to avoid my awkwardness and just to make it easier on myself, I then worry that the person thinks I'm rude, that they tell other people that they think I'm really rude or arrogant or cold. But I promise you not, it's literally just a fear of embarrassing myself and not knowing how to act and just trying to avoid a situation. And I think that's the thing that's common with people that are shy or socially awkward. If we go to an event and we choose to kind of hide our way, if we go to an event, we're often the ones that will kind of hide away in the corner, maybe sit down when everyone else is standing up and mingling, or we'll just chat to the people that we're comfortable with. I don't know, we kind of separate ourselves, and I think people can misinterpret that as being aloof or standoffish, and obviously it does appear like that, but it's not for the reasons you may think. It's not because we don't like you, or we don't want to talk to you, or that we think you're better than you, or whatever. It's purely a case of having an inner panic, and we'd rather just make ourselves as comfortable as possible and stick with the familiar people that we can relax around, be ourselves, and not worry about saying something ridiculous, or, you know, just being uncool in general. Like with most things, like phobias or difficulties or things that scare you, the best way of combating them is to do it face on and just put yourself in those situations. So I do try and do perhaps interviews that scare me, or go for jobs that I think actually are really intimidating, and if I got it I would be like pfft. But I found that once I've done the jobs, for instance like doing the Reading and Leeds official interviewing, I was terrified for that, didn't think I could handle it, and it was really tough if I'm honest, but at the end of the day I got through it. Yeah, there are some negative comments, but on YouTube you're always going to get negative comments. Most of the bands were nice, a few awkward ones, but there always are. And I think on the whole I masked the nerves, and I just think the more things you do, the more you can kind of build up that confidence and appear less shy, and, you know, hopefully you'll be on the road to becoming a less shy person and coming out of your shell. So just put yourself in those scary situations is my advice, and just think, what is the worst that could happen? It's probably not that bad, the worst thing you can come up with. Another reason why I thought I'd do this topic now is because Reading and Leeds Festival is coming up. Obviously I love live music, I love chatting to bands, all that sort of thing, but I find the whole social aspect of festivals, it gets me quite stressed thinking about it, because you're at the guest area and there's all people from the industry, people you know, but a lot of them are more acquaintances rather than really good friends, particularly me, because most of my core best friends are actually not in the industry. They're ones I've had since I was 4. They have like normal jobs, they're mothers, they're married, that sort of thing, and they don't go to festivals. So when I'm at, say, Reading guest area, it's the people that, you know, I have the chats with, but say hello to, that sort of thing, but it's not that deeper level, so I'm not that relaxed, and I've got a lot of those people where I don't know whether I should say hello to, whether I should hug them or not. So that's a lot of that all day. I even find just walking through the guest area, knowing that there's so many eyes and people around, find that quite intimidating, which is ridiculous. And because I'm often walking around a festival with like some members of bands or something that I've become friends with through work and stuff, there's a lot of people that come over, which is obviously great, it's lovely to meet people, but I'm always thinking, oh god, are they going to think that I'm really rude or offy, or are they going to think, ooh, she's obviously used a lot of filters on her Instagram, she looks awful, or oh, she's not, oh, I don't know, she's just not as nice as I thought she'd be, or oh, she's got chunkier legs than I thought she'd have, or she's not actually very nice in person, she was a bit rude or something, just because maybe they catch me when I'm tired, and that's something which doesn't help either. I'm very shy when people approach me, like Twitter people, although I think it's great, I like it, and I think it's a good thing. I do get a bit nervous that I'm gonna not be very interesting, that they're gonna think, oh god, she's dull as dishwater, that one. I always presume Like, I'm always, like, a lot of bands I've interviewed will come over and go, hey, nice to see you again, and give me a big old hug. And I'm always surprised because I think, oh, I didn't think you'd even remember who I am. And I think people who are shy often think that they're maybe a bit dull, blend into the background, maybe don't have anything good to offer. And I think you'd be surprised, like, your friends will probably tell you, no, you're really good at that, or you're really fun when it's that, or you're great to talk to about that, or whatever. We've all got our strengths, and it's just about finding them and kind of amplifying them if you can, and not concentrating on, you know, how awkward we feel inside. Say you've got a new boyfriend, for instance, and they say, oh, we've been invited to this dinner party or this party of my friend, and you know that you're going to be the one there that doesn't know everyone. I find those situations particularly daunting, because you know, well, they're probably not going to be judging you, but you feel like you might be being judged, and you feel like you've almost got to put on a performance, like you've got to be an ultra entertaining version of yourself. And if you're shy, that's quite exhausting to do. It's almost like putting on a play for the night. I think it's just that whole thing, will they like me? Will they think I'm good enough? Will they think I'm interesting? As I talk about all these things to do with shyness, it makes me think that a lot of it crosses over actually with confidence issues. So I think I'll do another video about, you know, confidence and the root of confidence and how to kind of build up confidence, because I think that obviously has an effect on how socially awkward you are or not, and your shyness. So if we can find a way to boost the confidence, then maybe we'll feel a lot better about these situations. Yeah, I remember when I was at school, what year was I in? I don't know, but I was about 15, I'm guessing. I really liked this guy in the year above for ages. He was in the cool gang, you know, all the skater boys. Eventually we had a brief thing. But then once we were back at school, I was so shy, I didn't know what to do. So I literally ran away from him. He tried to talk to me, so maybe we could chat about, you know, progressing things or turning it into something. But every time he came, I'd literally sprint. It wasn't just a little walk. I'd literally dart into the nearest toilet or classroom and hide. I just found those situations really awkward. And obviously after a while of me running away from him and making him look like an absolute melon standing there, he gave up on me. Inevitably, fair dues, I would have too. But that's a situation where kind of I screwed myself over with my shyness, because obviously my dream guy, he's up for it, and I was like, see you later. So it's silly. We've got to find a way to combat it, or at least reduce it a bit. You don't have to get rid of it completely, because I know some shy people and they're really endearing, and it's really nice sometimes to have someone that's not overpowering and taking over the whole conversation all the time and just, you know, sits back and takes it all in. So we don't all have to be super loud and brash, but just get it to a point where it doesn't diminish your capabilities and work and just enjoying yourself, because life's too short. We need to find ways that make it easier for ourselves, basically, so we're not having to battle the inner turmoil all the time. So if any of these things relate to you, or if you found anything that helps you, it'd be great to hear from you. Share them below so anyone can see them and also get tips from you. If there's any other issues that you'd like me to discuss, I'm happy to do that if I feel I've got something to say on the topic. Give me a thumbs up if this was helpful, and feel free to contact me on all my social media, which is somewhere down there. I'm sure I haven't covered everything, but you get the general gist about my panics and my shyness and my awkward nature. So if I see you at Reading and Leeds or any festivals or anywhere, please don't ever think I'm being rude. I'm just feeling, you know, and just persevere, or just be like hi and bye, whatever you want to do. Thanks again for watching. Bye.